And we are live. All right. Thank you, Ibrahim, for being here. I'm doing these sessions to sort of give freshmen an overview of what their potential career path could look like, whether that's research or full time. So, and again, if I was a freshman, I would definitely appreciate an advice from someone like you who has been in research for quite a while and could give sound advice on what to do and what to focus on. So I guess the first natural question is, what has been your career path so far, and how did you find your field of research that you're doing right now?
Yeah, first, I would like to thank you for inviting me for such session, and I hope I can provide any kind of help or advice that would be helpful for them
Mhm.
in the future. Regarding my career path, I have my undergraduate degree from Egypt in mechanical engineering. I have worked for 2.5 years as a teaching assistant staff at my university.
Mhm.
And during that time, uh, I have done some research in robotics because I have a lot of passion to robotics. And specifically medical robotics. So I was kind of working on developing some kind of actuators
Mhm.
that can provide assistance for people with motor disabilities. And after that, I got accepted for the Fulbright grant, and I have been accepted to do my master's here at Arizona State University in robotics and autonomous systems.
Mhm. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I know Fulbright is a very competitive scholarship to get. So
Yeah, it is.
yeah, so yeah, I think everybody would appreciate the advice that you would give. So could you tell us a little bit of what your current research is about, a little bit in more detail?
Yeah, sure. My current research, as I mentioned, I have a lot of interest in robotics
Mhm.
and yeah, more specifically, like medical application of robotics. And for those who might encounter this expression, medical robotics, it has a lot of divisions. One of them, which inspires me a lot, is rehabilitation exosuits. People who suffer strokes and some neurological diseases, they have motor disabilities, and they start to lose, for example, the ability to walk or to move their limbs. So here, what rehabilitation robotics is trying to solve is how to help them regain their motor disabilities.
Mhm.
And we have two kind of devices that most of uh, the research community in rehabilitation robotics is working on, which are rigid exoskeletons or exosuits and soft exosuits. And they are kind of wearable devices
Mhm.
that are attached to the limbs in such a way they can provide the different type of motions that are required for whatever the joint that's suffering from such disability. So what I'm working on now, I'm working on soft exosuits. Uh, for several reasons, I believe that soft exosuits uh, have more potential to be applied to humans more than rigid exosuits because rigid exosuits are more bulky and they have some difficulties. So I see soft robotics is an interesting field to work on, and I'm working on developing kind of soft exosuit for the knee joint. Um, so knee joint has two kind of motions. The first one is the extension motions when you extend it like so, and the second one is the flexion motion. So far, we at our lab we have an exosuit for the extension motion, and what I'm trying to address in my thesis research is can I develop uh, a an actuator or an exosuit that can provide this flexion motion and provide kind of assistance to patients with disabilities, and specifically stroke survivors.
Oh, awesome. That sounds like a very rewarding field to work in, especially that knowing that at the end of the day you'll be saving somebody's life and making it easier. So, could
Yeah,
you tell us a little bit,
yeah.
like some advice on finding the research field that you'd be passionate about and finding a good research advisor?
Yeah, that's very important. Finding your research, as you know, mechanical engineering is very broad,
Mhm.
and as a mechanical engineer, you have a bunch of options from which you can choose whether you're going to like work in research and development in
Mhm.
industry, or also in academia. So there's a bunch of like choices you can like choose from, and to know this, like you should spend some time trying to make kind of exploration to see what is going on. And for me, after graduation, I have spent like I don't remember how much time did I spend, but it was like months trying to like search the top universities in the world and try to like see what are kind of research that they are doing.
Mhm.
So that was the first thing I used to explore what is going on. What are the people in mechanical engineering doing from the perspective of research? And you can easily do that by like visiting the website of the university and like check like the research areas and see like the research trends that they are working on or they are interested in. And I have heard and I have known about medical robotics this way, and I found it very, very, very interesting to me. And from that instant, I decided, yeah, I want to spend like the next 10 or 15 years of my life like doing research in this field, because it's I see it as a future, and yeah, it has a lot of like engineering work, and like in terms of mathematics and physics and stuff like. So it is not an easy field, and it's very interesting, and it has also applications that like directly leave an impact to people's life. So that's my first advice: go and check what is going on in the universities, and try to know more about the research trends that are going on. For example, we have in mechanical engineering, you can check what are people doing in the field of like fluid research or combustion research. How people are like, what are the recent trends in like jet engines or yeah, stuff like so. So this is the first thing you should do, like find or explore what is there.
Mhm.
And in terms of choosing, once you have find your interest and yeah, you know, hey, this is what I want to do. This is what I see myself like doing the next years of my life. You should be careful. Where are you going to do this research?
Mhm.
Some people measure it or make this decision based on the reputation of the university. That's a good point, but it's not the whole. It's not the whole thing. You should like measure it or try to weigh it on different factors. One of them is the university. Yeah, I agree with you. But another important factor is the professor, uh, because you might go to one of the top universities, and
Mhm.
unfortunately you work with a professor like who is not helpful, who is not cooperative, and like he stresses you. He's not encouraging you to like be more productive. Other than that, he's like forcing you. He's always like not praising you in a way or another. So you should like try to be careful when you are going to choose your professor, because you are gonna spend like years of your life and he's your supervisor. So be careful when you choose this. And also you have to check the facilities that you're going, because uh, for example, I'm working on soft robotics because we have very, very advanced and very, very well prepared lab in soft robotics. So I'm able to like create stuff and test them and like do whatever I want because I have all the facilities I want to do this research. So check the labs, check the professors. You can ask about the professors if you can like know the students that are working in this lab. Try to reach out to them, talk to them, and try to get some helpful data about what is going on in this field. So don't measure your option or don't make a decision based on only the reputation of the university. Like there's a professor and the facilities, and also uh, 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 like there are, for example, here at SUs, you have very, very good program in robotics, and it's very dedicated to this area. You should also check that because if you want to go for a program, you need to study some courses that will build up your knowledge in this field. So, for example, some universities may have labs that are very, very good in some area, but they don't teach like sufficient courses or enough courses for graduate students that would help them build up their experience or their knowledge to be able to do this research efficiently. Yeah, so there's a bunch of factors. They may like be more than this, but those are the most important factors I see in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. I think especially since if you are planning to go into research, you most definitely need a PhD, and if you spend the next 5 years of your life struggling with a professor,
Yeah,
then it might not be as productive and rewarding as it should have been. Um,
yeah, sure.
yeah, and again, like that's great advice on choosing a career path because at the end of the day, you don't want to work on something that just sounds cool, but you also want to work on something that has high potential of getting funds or just have high applicability to industry as well.
Yeah,
So
sure.
yeah, I guess kind of going a little bit deeper into research as well. You have secured one of the most competitive fellowships, the
Yeah.
Fulbright fellowship. So, what's your advice on getting those very competitive fellowships, whether it's the NSF GRFP or the NASA Technical Research Fellowship, in terms of tailoring your research statement as well as your personal statement?
Yeah, that's a very good question because I have spent 2.5 years before after graduation to like uh, grant one of the most prestigious scholarships, as you mentioned, and this required some time of work and some time of like developing yourself in different aspects. I mean, in academic aspect, like to build up a strong knowledge and try to uh, like at least you should master all the courses and all the stuff you have studied as an undergrad. You should like try to enhance your capabilities in teamwork and in competition and projects. Like you guys, as an undergrad, have a bunch of opportunities to work in group projects and to participate in competitions and like do some achievements if you like were able to win a competition or do any kind of progress or achievement. This will count your CV. Also, one of the important things people who make decisions in such grants wants to see that you have the potential to really make a good change or uh, yeah, they want you to be very, very specific. You know what you want and how like having this grant is going to help you achieve one of the objectives or the targets that you see is going to be life changing for me, and not only for you, it's life changing for your community. So that's what they are looking for. So yeah, and this doesn't come like in a day or two. It needs some work. It needs you to like find what is your interest, choose your the fields that you want to do your research in carefully, like read about it too much, try to do some research about it before you apply, because if you see however, for my case, I have done research in medical robotics in my home country. However, we don't have facilities, we don't have like a dedicated program to this. We don't even have a dedicated program to robotics in my university. But that was my interest, and I have spent some time trying to convince my professors, hey, that's what I want to do, and that's what I believe I can like do some achievement in. And I have actually done some like original research in this area. I have also submitted a paper to uh, one of the well-known conferences in robotics on this field, and all of this like summed up in eventually to be like strength points in my resume. So that's not exactly what you want to do, but it is kind of like kind of outline of what you want to achieve to have good or solid chances to secure funding yeah, in general. So if you have like good publication, also always like professors or people who want PhD students at their labs look at publications. So if you try to like do any kind of undergraduate research and you have too much and you guys have too many opportunities to do this, like Fury or yeah, some initiatives that are similar to it. Even you can volunteer at some lab and try to engage yourself in some research to eventually have kind of publication. This is going to be very good strength point in your resume.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. I mean, if you want to get into research, you have to have had experience in research. So that goes for things like Fury or the REU, the NSF REU as well. Just make sure that you actually leverage these opportunities if that's your interest. So I think like taking a step back into from research and just focusing more on the broader mechanical engineering field. What are some of your likes and dislikes about mechanical engineering?
I'll be biased to mechanical engineering, of course. I won't mention like too many dislikes. Yeah, I see. Yeah, mechanical engineering is one of the like oldest majors of engineering. And I can say there are very majors today that are like that have been STEM or like there are branches from mechanical engineering. And today in science or in engineering, you see this kind of beautiful collaboration between different majors. And because mechanical engineering is very essential, you see like mechanical engineers, like mechanical engineering professors, students, PhDs, masters, they are engaging with different majors, and they have like very major responsibility towards achieving, for example, a project. In my case, I'm working with people from systems engineering, from electrical engineering, and from bioengineering, and we are all working towards the same objective. And you, as a mechanical engineer, because your mission is to like build machines, and building machines is like is all what we need in our daily life. We deal with machines like wherever we go. So what I really like about mechanical engineering is it has like different scopes or different majors that nicely intersect with different majors. However, in engineering also we also work with physical therapists, which is really amazing for me, because I've never imagined as an engineer I would work with people from medical background.
Right.
So yeah, that's what I really like about mechanical engineering. It's very broad, and you have the flexibility to work in different majors, and your job is still mechanical engineer. So you don't have to change your job to work with like electrical engineers. However, the projects that you're working on. So that's what I really like about mechanical engineering. What I dislike, yeah, actually I don't have anything I dislike about it, because I really love mechanical engineering. So yeah, I'm sorry, I'm very biased too.
Yeah, no, it's definitely one of the better fields to choose, just because it's very broad, and I guess wherever you go, there's going to be a need for a mechanical engineer at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think like you have a very interesting story and inspiring story of perseverance and really focusing on what you want to work on in robotics. So I think if you had to go back and kind of look back at your journey, what were some of the things you said you did right, and what were some of the things you would change or do differently to succeed if you were
Yeah.
to go back?
Yeah. That's a very good point. Because one of the most important thing that I have realized is don't be shy to ask. Like, because you always we don't know, and we only know one of the best ways to know is to ask others. And people have experiences, and if you try to somehow ask someone about his experience or about her experience, you're gonna have like a value from this experience. You don't have to copy it, but what I mean is ask people. When you ask, you might know about hear about an opportunity you didn't know about it before. You might know about a program or a course or any kind of any helpful information that will of course help you. So try to gain and know about others' experiences, and don't like isolate yourself and say, "Hey, I know what to do it and how to do it, and yeah, I don't need any help from anyone." So no, that's very very wrong. And yeah, because most of the grants and most of the opportunities, for example, in my case that I have applied for, I hear about them from some colleagues, some friends, and some of them I've known about them from the internet. And this will like take us to the second point. Be a good searcher. So you should search. You can use this Google part to ask him to do whatever he wants for you. So ask Google too much. And it's a beautiful thing that it will answer you. It is gonna give you very, very good answers to what you want. So make good search about what you want, anything you want to know about, like recent research field of mechanical engineering is gonna give you very very helpful information about it. So ask too much and search too much. This is the way you learn. Yeah, and don't ever be shy. Don't ever be shy.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. I mean, I think that's something I hear everywhere is nobody expects you to know everything, because you actually don't. You just make sure you ask, I guess like for better terms, swallow your pride and ask questions just so you can gain better knowledge. So
yeah, that will save you too much time, because you can like spend like days trying to do something or to find out information about something, and someone can easily tell you, hey, you can find it like somewhere if you did blah blah blah.
Yeah, I think
and there is an important point you told me about the wrong things I did. I believe that there is something we can classify as correct or wrong or good or bad. Because everything you do is gonna like teach you something.
Absolutely.
and that's the game. So don't measure it this way. You did something wrong, or you did something like, and it didn't give you the results or the expectations you want, but eventually it taught you something. That's the game.
Right.
So yeah, for me, yeah, I did things that like has like have given me like other than or different things than I expected, but eventually I have learned too many lessons from these things. So like, don't blame yourself
Right.
like of, hey, I did this wrong or I did this bad. You did it and you learned something, and that's it.
Yeah, that's very true. I think right now it's really easy to just pigeonhole yourself and kind of try to regret some of the decisions you made. But at the end of the day, that's what makes you unique, and that's what makes you marketable to just whatever position or whatever field you're working on.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
guess
Sure.
we're kind of towards the end of our discussion, and I want to just like open the floor for you and ask you what other advice or any other advice you would like to share for our freshmen.
Yeah, you for freshmen, you still have time. Don't rush. Don't rush. Be patient because you're gonna face a lot, and it only needs you to like be patient and be flexible with shocks, because you're gonna have too many shocks, and you will have sometimes that you will be like kind of disappointed or have kind of negative feelings or whatever. So what you want to do is just be flexible, feel everything, every feeling as it is, and acknowledge it. Don't resist it, and it's gonna pass. And don't ever give up. Don't ever give up. Just keep trying, keep working, and don't look into the results, because looking into the results or looking at or expecting that you have to achieve this thing. If I don't achieve it, so I fail. No, that's not correct. Just work and believe that hard working is gonna lead you to achieve what you want. So that's the kind of advice I want to give to them eventually. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, yeah. Well, that's some amazing advice. I think you kind of hear it everywhere, but when you actually try to practice it and you actually have these setbacks, it's really easy to forget. So
Yeah.
it's a great reminder. And again, thank you, Ibrahim, for sharing your advice and for being with
You're
us
welcome.
today. Hopefully, this would inspire somebody and kind of help them to work on what they want to work at eventually, instead of trying to figure out what to do. So thanks again, Ibrahim.
Absolutely, it was my pleasure. You're welcome.